Hey guys, welcome to the channel, Sonny here. So today it is August 25th and we got another Global Lab update. We cover these live on stream, as you can probably see, every Friday. So if you want to be there and have the deep conversation about all of this, then don't forget to tune in at twitch.tv/bprimegaming. So let's take a look at it. Today's update, we have some message from the devs. That is basically an announcement about the 300 versus 300, the War of the Roses, being postponed. It was apparently supposed to start the preseason tomorrow, the 26th. Nobody knew about that, but that was apparently their plans. But they are postponing it for a bit to polish it up some more and to make sure that it works even better. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting it to come out for at least a month or so not really a big deal. I'm excited to see it. Next up, we have some Black Shrine changes. What that is the boss rush in the Land of the Morning Light. They are adding these buffs whenever you kill the highest difficulty bosses, which at the moment is Calamity 7. So if you kill a Calamity 7 buff, the server you do it on will get a buff for 3 hours. And depending on which type of boss you're killing, it will be different buffs. So it can be either 1 AP, 1 DP, or 20% drop rate for 3 hours. If somebody kills the same boss or the same type of boss, it doesn't add to the time. It just resets the time back to 3 hours for the buff, so you can't stack them up. We don't really know if this is sheet AP or hidden AP. I personally think it's just going to be hidden AP and DP, so kind of weak. Even if it's sheet, it's still kind of weak buffs. The 20% drop rate is kind of nice, but again, it's aight. It's nothing crazy. It's just a little something extra for the people on the server. We get a big one here, the Monster Zone improvements. This one here is pretty damn huge. There's a bit of bug fixes for City of the Dead and also Tongue-Great Ruins, nothing else there. But down here we get a silver increase on the trash from Arkman Temple and History of Ruins. And also for regular Ash Forest, they're increasing the base drops. This isn't that much, it's something, it's fine. These up here, however, are crazy good. So we did the math on it, and these two places are both Acris Fever efficient, just like Centaurs, etc. So these two spots are going to be probably the two best spots for a player that is full pen to Valor gear, coming off season, maybe getting your Magnus armor for History, etc. You can grind these two. So they fit perfectly into that space from coming off season or being full pin on season, and then building up until you can start grinding the Elvia Realms for really good silver. The numbers, if we go on the average using Yellow Loot Scroll and Acris, these two places are going to be with average numbers around 700-800 million silver per hour. Remember, this is with Acris and Yellow Loot Scroll, but they are very Acris efficient. We had somebody here in chat that showed 2 hours he had done, and he was doing 25,000 trash an hour at History of Ruins on average. He had a 2-hour grind, 25k trash. It turns out that with the buff, he will be making around 910 million silver per hour. So if you actually are able to grind these places at a pretty good pace, you can do them with Pin to Valor gear. I would recommend getting Oregon boots for History, but Pin to Valor and maybe like 1 pin armor is going to be totally enough for these places. If you can get up to the 20-25k trash, you are looking at up to 900 million silver per hour with Acris at these two places. It's going to be amazing, just what we needed in that gear range before people start putting into the Elvia Realms, etc. Really nice, a bit of Ash Forest as well. We have a Mythical Feather improvement. The only change here is that you can do the quest from the Old Wisdom tree. You can do that at level 49 now. Nothing else has changed, but I guess it's nice for all the people out there that are using level 49 horse trainers. Next up is some improvements to the Ulikita region. They are making it so you can talk to the NPCs at the node and get knowledge. On top of that, they are adding the church buff to the region. It's going to be right here next to the City of the Dead and also over Tongue-Great Ruins here. So it's going to be right in the center of the entire zone. Now you can get your church buffs without having to go all the way to Altinova. Next up is UI improvements. We love to see it. It's gonna make you able to search item and autocomplete words in the marketplace. So instead of having to type out the entire word or whatever, or maybe you don't remember the full name, you can just search for it here and see suggestions and auto-fill out searches. Nice little quality of life. On top of that, with the money realms, you can now check the status of the money realm on the channel swap. So that's pretty nice, so you don't have to swap into a full money realm. They're gonna make some improvements to make the journals a bit easier for the Fuga and Pavio Grecos. And finally, we have some class changes. There's probably gonna be a lot of talk about this. We went through it. Again, I do recommend checking out the VOD. I'll link it in the description if you want the full discussion about these patch notes. Otherwise, make sure to tune in every Friday. So Berserker got buffs again. This is mainly for Awakening, but they are making it way better, like smoother, quicker to use movement abilities after using your evasive movement. It links better. It's a huge buff getting this stuff. It makes things flow way better together. Now, this is the big one where there's probably a lot of people that are going crazy. I've saw a bit, but it's not as big a deal as it looks to be. So the Flame Chain is the new ability you get on Q on Awakening Surger. They are adding 2 more hits. It's a really hard-hitting ability now. It does 24,000 damage in PvE and around 7,000 in PvP, I believe. So it's actually a really good hit. So they're adding 2 more hits to it. On top of that, they are changing some status effects. That makes it link better, so way smoother in connection, so you can use it better in comboing. On top of that, they are adding a 15% melee accuracy rate to it, and they are changing the CC to be a KD on the last hit. They're removing the knockback and the float, and they're adding a knockdown on the last hit. Now, this looks crazy when you just look at it, but in terms of PvE, it means you will be able to use this in combos. You will get your 15% accuracy buff in PvE. Super easy. It's going to be part of your combo. And for PvP, this just means that you can use this instead of Headbutt. So Headbutt is an ability in your pre-awakened kit, which applies a 15% melee accuracy rate for 10 seconds, and it does a knockdown. So this will make it easier for people to do combos and getting these buffs up if they're playing Awakening. So it will probably be a bit easier to jump on an Awakened Warrior even for PvP. It does have an extremely high skill ceiling, and you'll probably still want to go into pre-awakening for some of the best combos and all that. But this will make it just easier. So it's not really a new buff to the class. It's just adding it to the awakening kit as well. It's still amazing. This is crazy strong. The potential of this is going to be pretty wild once people get more used to using the new ability and also seeing how the improvements work out. So this could potentially be great. But it's not as insane as it looks because the class has this exact ability already in the pre-awakened kit, which is part of the regular Surger combo. So this one just basically is the same, but deals more damage and you don't have to swap. It's great, but it's not as nutty as a lot of people probably think it is. Right, next up is Kuno. I was expecting to see some Awakening Kuno PvE buffs when I saw Kuno in the patch, but I guess they suffered the Awakening Warrior curse as well, and they just get a few lines of So they're changing the movement attack speed slow from being on Dance Macabre to being on Flow Pinwheel Fury, which would be nice. I believe this is a bigger and faster AoE, so it should be easier to land in PvP. And then they are making it so you can change the lethal spin to link with Flow Indignation when you right click while using the skill, or left clicking when using Pinwheel Fury. So just a bit of connection stuff. Yeah. Next up is Striker. I do recommend checking through out. I'm of course going to link this in the description as well. There's a lot of small changes here, which all do add up quite a bit. The TLDR is that a lot of the abilities, so this is the main hand abilities, there are some that affects Succession as well. But this is both Succession and Awakening. There's going to be a lot of easier connections with abilities. They're going to flow better together. There's going to be some stamina improvements to the class. Some of the abilities will regen stamina faster which will help on stamina for Striker. And they're also going to be adding some hotkeys so you can switch from Awakening to Pre-Awakening on some of the abilities. And one of the bigger ones is the final one here with the Spiral Cannon, where they're adding the all evasion rate plus 9% for 10 seconds on Spiral Cannon. Again, this is a buff that Strikers already has, but it's on an unprotected ability, so now they will basically be able to keep this up at all time without ever really worrying about it falling off. So it is a buff, but I think it's fine. It's totally fine with all the accuracy, again, in the game right now. Striker, just keeping the buff up at all time, I don't see any issues with. So some pretty damn nice quality of life changes for Striker, and I guess for Circus as well. So that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the stream at twitch.tv/bprimegaming, and I'll see you in the next one.